Hello everybody, my name's Wes. Today I wanted to make my very own coming out video. I decided to do so because when I was very first coming out, I watched tons and tons of these videos. What everybody had to say in those definitely helped me in my coming out process, so hopefully something that I say in here will help you guys to come out. I very first started to realize that I was gay probably in middle school. It's when I started to recognize that I was attracted to boys my age rather than girls my age. I didn't quite actually finally solidify these feelings until high school, junior year of high school. One of my best friends, I had a huge crush on him. Didn't end up working out, and I stayed in the closet almost the entire time that I was in high school. It wasn't until sophomore year of college that I decided to come out. I had had enough of living the double life that it felt like I was living. It felt like I was somebody that I wasn't being, and it was just time for me to accept who I was. So I called up my friend Bryce, and he had actually previously come out to me a month before, and so it went very well. The next person I decided to tell was my roommate, Scott. We were both deciding whether we wanted to pledge a fraternity or not at the time. I just felt really nervous about the fact that I hadn't come out to anybody in the fraternity, and I was about to spend 2 more years of my experience being involved. And so I pulled Scott aside before we went over, and I told him, I was just like, Scott, I'm gay, what do you think about that? And he had actually already had some previous suspicion that I was gay, and so it just kind of confirmed those feelings for him. But we ended up walking over, and we did end up accepting our bids to join the fraternity. He encouraged me, and I wanted to come out to one of my family members, and I decided that my mom was probably the easiest to come out to. During finals week, I was really stressed out, and I had a lot on my mind, one of those being that I'm gay. And so I sat down one night of finals week, and I wrote my mom a 7-page letter. The next day, I drove all the way to my house, an hour and a half away, and I gave her the letter, and as soon as I gave her the letter, I just immediately just started bawling. And it ended up turning out very well. She was very accepting, but she had no idea. She had no idea that I was gay. I was too nervous to tell anybody else. It wasn't actually until probably a year later, I went to a house party with the only two openly gay members of our fraternity, and as we walked in, I just kind of got included in that group of being gay, and so I had a couple of drinks in me, and I finally was just like, you know what, yep, I am gay, and threw everybody off. Kind of awkward because it was in front of an entire party of people, but it eventually cleared over. Things worked out. The person that I was the most nervous to tell was definitely my father. This just barely happened half a year ago. I waited so long because I was just so nervous to tell my dad. Growing up, you just have all of these perceived expectations of growing up, marrying a girl, getting a job, and just living the American dream. And it felt like when I was coming out that I was just going to shatter those expectations of my dad. So it took me a really long time to finally get the courage to tell him. But one day I was sitting at home, and I just couldn't deal with it any longer, so I gave him a call, and I was like, Dad, I've been meaning to tell you this for a long time. And there was a long pause, and I said, Dad, I'm gay. And it took him a little bit to recover from that. He said that he still loved me, and he always will still love me, which I am very appreciative of. But I could definitely tell that it was new information to him and that he needed some time to process it over. And he's still, I mean, it is a process, just like it's been a process for me. It's been 5 years since I've come out, so it might take him a little bit of time to finally accept. If I were to give some advice about coming out, I would say take your time. I took my time, and I'm very happy with how my coming out process went. At times, I think I wish it would have just been like a week. I just would have told everybody and just come out of the closet already. But I'm happy that I was more selective about who to tell and when I was going to tell them, because it was very new for a lot of people. I am not stereotypically gay, and it takes some people some time to understand that. And which brings me to my second point, is that it also is a process for people that you're coming out to. They might not accept you right off the bat, but it does take some time to think, to mull it over, and realize that their son, friend, brother, sister is gay. So just consider that when coming out. I'm so happy that I've come out. Things have gotten so much easier. I just feel like I can be myself and that I can just live my life. There is no more weight on my shoulder, and it is really